All right, folks, get ready for this one because we're talking about one of the toughest rugby challenges the Wallabies will face in recent memory. A Springbok in their home turf in South Africa in the Rugby Championship. That's said to be a bloodbath battle. But here's the question. Can the Wallabies beat South Africa in their backyard? The odds are stacked against them. But if there's one thing we know is that the Wallabies have a squad that can fight fire with fire. And with key players injured and fresh talent stepping up, it's all or nothing for the Wallabies and what promises to be a thrilling encounter. The stakes are high, the pressure's on, and with recent win against the Lions still fresh in their minds, this is a squad that could surprise a lot of us. So stick around because today we're diving deep into the Wallabies squad, their strengths and their weaknesses, and how they can go toe-to-toe with South Africa and claim an unlikely victory. And yes, I'm calling it now. This is going to be a war, so stay tuned for my breakdown and my prediction on the toughest road ahead. Now, welcome back to the channel. Now, we've got a real treat ahead as we break down the Wallabies squad for the upcoming test against South Africa in the Rugby Championship and preview what promised to be a brutal test match and with the Wallabies still buzzing after their victory in Sydney against the British and Irish Lions. We're going to take a look at how this team shapes up, the strengths and weaknesses, and what's it going to take for them to compete against the best team in the world, South Africa, in South Africa. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the Lions tour and how Australia won that third test. So the Wallabies, after a roller coaster of emotions, clinched a hard-fought win in that third test at Anchor Stadium. 22-12 was the final score, and while the series didn't go their way, it was a morale boosting for the team. Australia looked sharp in that final test, especially after losing the first two. The Lions, of course, brought the heat with their massive physicality and set-piece dominance, but the Wallabies responded well. They continue to build momentum and also they controlled the tempo. They showed real grit in defence and they took their chances when it mattered. And it was the kind of performance that make you think, with a bit of consistency, the Wallabies team can cause some serious damage in the Rugby Championship. Now, let's talk about the 35-player squad name for the upcoming test. This squad has a good mix of experience and also youthful promise. I guess Joe Schmidt have maintained a largely consistent group after the Lions series, but we're also seeing a few changes, the most notable being the loss of Tom Liner to a concussion after that brutal clean-out in the Lions test, which means the Brumbies fly half, Tane Edmund, gets a shot, a bigger opportunity for the young fly half to step up. And now let's just talk about the forwards first. The squad is packed with physicality and depth, 20 forwards in total, which shows just how important that forward dominance is going to be in South Africa up front. You've got guys like James Slipper, who's been a rock for Australia, 147 test caps under his belt. Slipper will be a key for Australia's scrum and also set piece as they face off against a powerful South African pack. And another standout in the forwards is Will Skilton at 6'8" and over 130 kilograms. He's an absolute monster in the tight exchanges. He's been playing club over in France in the top 14 and is in good form of his life. And South Africa won't be able to push him around, that's for sure. Expect some scuffles. It's going to get heated in that physical battle between Skilton and Etzebeth, I don't know. But it's going to be, you'll know there's going to be a scrap. But it's not about size and power. Australia also has their mobility in the forwards. Guys like Fraser McWright, Tom Hooper. I guess these players who who are going to help Australia get over the gain line and create fast ball for the backs. That's crucial against a team like South Africa, who are known for their intensity in the breakdown and ability to slow down the ball. And speaking of breakdowns, you've got Rob Valentini and Taniela Tupou. The squad both incredibly strong in the collisions. And when it comes to securing the ball on the ground, if Australia wants any chance of winning in South Africa, they need to dominate the breakdown, disrupt South Africa's fast ball. That's going to require Tupou to use his raw power, and while Valentini has to be smart and quick to the ruck. Now let's move to the backs. With injury to Jake Gordon, we see a new face and Ryan Lonergan. Talented scrum half from the Brumbies. He's uncapped, but the inclusion alongside the experienced Tate McDermott and Nick White shows depth that Australia is building nicely in that back line. I guess Nick White especially is a key inclusion. Despite his retirement announcement, his leadership and tactical kicking will be crucial in the tight contest against South Africa. McDermott, with his speed and vision, is also someone who can inject pace into the game. It's going to be critical to the Wallabies' tempo. Now, let's not forget the likes of Len Ikitau and Hunter Baisami, who bring flair and physicality in the centres and the midfield. Max Jorgensen and also Andrew Callaway out wide are two dangerous wingers who can finish off moves if the Wallabies can get them into space. But of course, we can't talk about the backline without mentioning the fly half position. Tane Edmund will need to step up in the place of Tom Liner. Edmund's playing style is a little different. He's more of a tactical kicker. He's not really a running threat, but he's quite solid under pressure. He'll need to manage the game well and kick his goals, but it's his ability to set the tempo and keep Australia in the right areas of the field that will be the biggest test for him. And now we all know South Africa is a different beast. They are coming off a dominant performance against Barbarians, Italy and Georgia. And they don't mess around. This team is physical and they are renowned for their brutal set-piece dominance, scrums, and their ability to control the game in tight situations. And on top of that, their physicality at the breakdown is unmatched. They've got power players like Etzebeth in the lock, and their back row guys like Sia Kolisi are always a threat in that tackle around the ruck. And I guess Australia's path to victory here isn't as easy. And first and foremost, I guess the most important for Australia is territorial possession is going to be absolute key if the Wallabies can pin the Boks in their own half and make them play out from the back. It'll force South Africa into mistakes. But the Wallabies kicking game has to be spot on, not just in terms of clearing their lines, but also kicking for territory. It's all about playing in the right areas of the field and keep the Boks on the back foot. Second one is defence, has to be rock solid. Australia can't afford to give the Boks easy meters. The Wallabies need to make their tackles stick and ensure that every tackle counts. With the Boks attacks threats, especially in the wide channels, Australia line speed and defensive organisations will be tested to the limit. And third, they have to muscle up at the breakdown. South Africa thrives on disrupting the ball, and if Australia can't secure that fast ball, they'll be stuck defending for 80 minutes. Valentini, Mick Wright and Hooper are going to be aggressive at the ruck, but also discipline as well. If they give away penalties at the breakdown, South Africa will make the Wallabies pay. But let's be clear here. This isn't just about shutting down South Africa. I mean, the Wallabies need to be physical in every face of the game. They need to impose themselves into the contact points in the tackle and the scrums and at the breakdown. Strong set piece will be crucial as well. If they can provide clean ball for their backs and give Edmund an opportunity, or whoever plays at the fly half platform to attack from, they'll stand a chance. And this needs to be perfect. It has to be perfect game from Australia. Everything is on the line and it has to click. So I'm going to be honest here. My prediction is that South Africa obviously will come out on top. They are just too strong across the park. And hey, it's at home as well. South Africa is too good at home. I guess, I think the Wallabies will give them a real run for their money. You can't underestimate the Wallabies. I guess we're going to expect a brutal contest with Australia fighting to the very end. But the Wallabies have to believe, because this is the kind of challenge that could define the squad if they can execute on all fronts, stick to their systems, and also stay disciplined for the full 80 minutes. Then who knows, they might just shock the world and shock us. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and comment below with your thoughts on the squad and your prediction for massive test between South Africa and Australia. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe for more rugby content, and keep supporting your rugby teams, and keep the rugby spirit alive. And we will see you in the next video.